All right, so out on the range today, talking about qual courses. Qualification courses are important, whether, anything military, security, law enforcement. And I'd like to do some dives into some of them and talk about the pros and cons to each of those qualification courses. What we're covering today is the Arizona qualification course, which is new. I didn't know it had changed, and this is what sparked this video. Was a buddy of mine reached out and said, "Hey, have you shot the new Arizona course of fire?" Like, no, I didn't know it was new. Looked it up. So we're going to do it today. It's on the TQ21 target. The old course of fire was also on the same target. It's a pretty basic silhouette with, you see in here, this light colored line. Everything in this area is a 5-point value. And then there's penalties for shooting too many rounds, for not conducting the TAC reloads, emergency reloads, that sort of thing. So there are some penalties that can be thrown in there. I got my notes here, and we're going to be going through this. So bear with me. I didn't bring the stuff I should have had today to run a video, but we'll make do. What's weird is we're going to be starting off at the 15-yard line. They cut out the 25-yard line shots from their last course of fire, which I completely disagree with. And that's part of doing these videos, is the pros and cons to these qual courses. One, cops should be taking cover and tactical positions at distance, because it's the safest thing you can do. And if you're taking it from those distances, you should be able to engage from those distances. So I don't know why they shortened it. I think it's kind of silly. And then there's a lot of redundancy in here. We're going to spend a lot of time here at the 15-yard line doing the same thing: to the chest, one to the head, for 4 iterations. One from the holster, one from the ready, one from the holster to do immediate action, and another one to do a speed reload. So that's all going to be right here. And you're going to have the first 2 at 6 seconds, the second 2 are at 10 seconds. So this first one, from the holster to the chest, one to the head, 6 seconds. Let's get it done. There we go. That was 337. Now the second one, looking at my notes here, is from the ready position, right? First one was testing from the holster. All right, so from a ready position, that was 268. So why the redundancy? Why do one from the holster, one from the ready? It kind of makes sense. I don't understand the 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. I think you could have varied it up. These are hard headshots from this distance for a lot of people. So I think as a firearms qualification person, somebody who's running ranges, this would cause me teaching anxiety, knowing that a bunch of officers aren't going to be able to make those headshots. They're just going to miss them. So why are we going to focus so much on it when it's outside of their realm? And headshots are just, I don't know. It's a smaller target. I get it. I just don't know why we're doing it multiple times. All right. So now I'm supposed to unload the gun. So chamber's empty, back in the holster, put that loaded magazine back in. And I don't like this, because they're testing you for an immediate action. You come out, you get a click, not a bang. You have to go through seat, rack, and engage again. You know it's coming. Part of the problem with doing immediate action and remedial action, those things are done because it's a surprise. You weren't expecting it. Otherwise, I think you would have done something to fix it in the first place, right? So you're going to do this in 10 seconds, draw out, click, tap, rack, and then engage again. I guess one of the good things here is you're testing to see whether or not somebody knows that process, and can they reacquire grip, sights, trigger, and engage accuracy, because you've got 4 seconds to get that stuff done. But still, it's coming. So anyways, here we go. 10 seconds, 2 to the chest, 1 to the head, and going off that click and not a bang. So here we go. .508 plenty of time. I had 10 seconds to do it, had 5 seconds to spare. So now we're gonna do the same drill. I'm gonna make sure I got enough ammo in here. I should, yep. 2 to the chest, 1 to the head with a, or I'm sorry, 2 to the body. Then you gotta do a speed reload, which means I'm not waiting for slide lock or anything. I'm just dropping the magazine, putting another one in, and then doing a headshot in 10 seconds. I'm not a big fan of this. I just don't, again, the speed reload is done because tactically, you want to top off your weapon. You fired a bunch of rounds, things are starting to change. There's a slight lull in the situation. You're like, I want to juice up my gun before I get into the next problem, right? So you drop that magazine, you don't care how many rounds are in it, you don't retain it, and you put a fresh one in there, and you don't have to rack. So I don't like the idea that we're doing, but you're testing the movement, right? But still, I don't know. Seems a little silly. I think, why do we test on this? Why not just train on it, right? So qualification, test to the minimum standard when you could work this into training scenarios and training drills on the range. But neither here nor there. Let's do it. 2 to the chest, speed reload, 1 to the head, 10 seconds. All right. Ooh, that was not a good shot. I felt it. And we may have broke the line. That may have been my first miss of the day. Here I am talking smack about how easy this course of fire is. And they need to make it different. And I missed. Headshot. Maybe we'll take a look. Yeah, I think it's a miss. No worries. I felt it when it happened. All right. So, oh shoot, I forgot my note. All right, so got my notes. Now we're at the 5-yard line. Oh, sorry, we got to move up here. 5-yard line. So we went from the 15 now to the 5 because this is walking. All right, so we're gonna move. Let's see here. We got a couple of them. Walking forward, 3 rounds in 3 seconds. So you're starting from the 5-yard line. You got to be done shooting by the 3-yard line. So you're only taking like 2 steps, and you're gonna fire 3 rounds really quick. And then we're gonna do it diagonally, walking forward to the left diagonally, and then walking forward to the right diagonally, 3 rounds each time. So probably should juice up my weapon. Nope, it's juiced up. I'm good to go. Top off the magazine pouch. All right. One. And I think I probably read my notes wrong. I think we're doing this from the ready position. Yeah, from the ready. You could do it from the holster. I just did that 219. Not a big deal. But we'll do these from the ready. All right, offsets. And I'm going diagonally now. Back here. There we go. And now diagonally again. No worries. That was 180. So not difficult. Doing good so far, other than that one head miss, which is going to bother me, keep me up at night. So that's all the 5-yard line stuff. Now we move back to 7-yard line. Here we go. 7-yard line. Again, a lot of redundancy. Everything is like 3 and 2 rounds, and I don't know, there's 4 courses of fire. So this first one is just draw, fire 3 rounds in 3 seconds. 3 rounds in 3 seconds. A little offset here. There we go. 3 rounds, 3 seconds from the holster. That was 2 even. 2 seconds even. Now, from the ready position, 3 rounds in 3 seconds. I think it could be faster. Whenever you get rid of the draw process, why not force people to shoot faster from the ready position. That's what I just don't get. So that was in 1, 2, 3. So, you know, 3/4 of a second faster than from the holster. So why not require people to do it? I mean, that's a minimum standard. You're getting rid of the draw. So no worries. Now, next one is dominant hand draw. 2 rounds, 4 seconds from the 7-yard line here. So 2 rounds and 4 seconds. I got ammo. Nope. Oh, geez. Not ammo in there. All right. 2 rounds, 4 seconds. There we go. That was done in 2, 5, 6. Now, if I remember right, we switch it over to the support hand. 2 rounds and 4 seconds, support hand. So almost flinched into the gun. 2, 5, 3. Again, you got rid of the draw. Why couldn't you make them do it faster? There we go. So the last one now is going to be, you're going to draw. I've got to reload the gun here. So I've got a 5-round magazine prepped and ready to go in my pocket. Get that out here. Yeah, 5-round magazine. Now, got 1 in the chamber, put 1 in the gun, seated. And this is draw and fire 6 rounds. You're gonna get slide lock, or you should get slide lock. And then reload and fire 3 more rounds in 12 seconds. And then I think that's where the timing ends, because then the next portion of the sentence for the course of fire was then perform a tack reload prior to holster, which means a reload with retention, retain that magazine. But I don't think that's part of the time limit, is what it sounds like. So no worries. So we're gonna do 6 rounds, reload 3 rounds in 12 seconds. All right. Missed my slide lock. No worries. Time was 7:20 for those 9 rounds. So that is the 40-round course of fire. And I told you I missed one of the headshots, so I scored a 195 because I got it right in there. Didn't break the line. Felt it when it happened. Is what it is. Everything else good to go in there. So this course of fire, is it good? Is it not? I think any course of fire, they have their pros and cons. The idea is, what are we training? We should be training, drawing from the holster, going from the high ready or a low ready position, whatever, some sort of ready position, conducting reloads. I think there's a lot of redundancy here. You could trim it down and spend more time training than testing people. I think it's kind of like asking somebody, what's 3 + 6? And then the next question is, what's 6 + 3? Or just saying, what's 3 + 6? What's 3 + 6? You're just asking them the same thing over and over again. Are they paying attention? I don't think we need to do that sort of redundancy in qualification courses. I think we should spend more time testing specific skills. Can you do this in this situation? So, I don't know. Get out there, try it. This is all out on the interweb there. You can do a search for Arizona qualification course, and it'll come up. Same with the OPATA and any of the other states. So get out there, check it out.